with Brian.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of
Nerd Out.
I am Randy. This is Brian, and
we've been looking for something to talk about. Haven't had.
So we're gonna talk about your inability to take a dump.
Well, we can get into that. I haven't dumped in like a week, but I got stool softener last night. Took a huge dump, and it was like glorious. It was wonderful. And it like took it on our way home.
Yeah.
And then every obstacle you could think of, we hit train, slow moving traffic, and I'm sitting there holding this huge dump bag. But it felt good. I did it with a smile on my face because it had been so long.
You knew what was going to happen when you got home.
I forgot what it felt like for a week, and yeah.
Would you have gotten to the point where you would have been totally okay with just shitting your pants? Would you have been like, fuck it?
It would have been better than going another day without shitting.
What would happen if like you got home and you knew it was going to happen and then you just clammed up and it couldn't, like it just, that was it?
You would have got really sick.
Yeah.
I think you can only go so long before you get like sick.
And I imagine once you get the turtle head popping, you're
it
ready to
doesn't
go.
matter. It's coming out, man. It's like pregnancy. You don't have a choice at that point anymore. You know.
Anyways, we won't continue talking about Brian's inability to poo. We'll just talk about like we grew up in the '80s, and like through that time, like even going back if we can, like legendary toys that were rumored to be produced
but never were.
And we'll just start right off. There was a rumor that the old Gaiken Mospiata Robotech Cyclone, that there was a Lancer. You remember that? Which is the purple.
Yep.
And I remember with the blades. And I remember like when we back in the day when we worked at the comic book shop, I remember talking to guys and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember seeing it." And then there's other guys who'd be like, "I had one. I totally had one. I even might still have it." And you would always be like, "No, you really do. I gotta see it." And then like you get to that point where you just know that guy was so full of shit because they never made it.
Mine was V.
What, the V?
People rumored that they had V toys and like.
They didn't. No.
But they had them in the show.
Do you remember the show? They showed
and
the
I think that's how people got confused or misremembered that they thought it was real.
But what they really remember is watching the TV show
and wishing they had it. And like,
I think they did. I think that there's pictures of prototypes out there of an action figure line. They did.
But I think those are still what was in the show.
They did that V doll, which was awesome. It was like you could take the skin off. That was cool.
I heard about a mothership place.
I think I remember that too.
Like it's like. No.
You have the V gun.
I got the V gun,
right?
But that was never available as V.
Right.
And I don't know where the fuck that thing ever was in the 80s because I would have given a nut for it in the 80s and found it 30 years later.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, I got one. Blue Tron Cycle. You remember the rumors that the Blue Tron Cycle was made and everyone would be like, "Oh, I had a Blue Tron Cycle." But the fact of the matter is, until NECA redid the 20th anniversary or whatever it was, there was no Blue Tron Cycle. And I remember, because I remember as a kid, the only thing I had asked for, I think it was for my birthday, I asked for my mom for a Tron figure and cycle. And I wanted the blue one just because blue is the coolest. And I got a yellow one. And I remember for decades I was looking for a Tron cycle. And that never was made. So, are you stumped already?
No, you can't removable Han Solo and Stormtrooper outfit.
I don't remember ever that being rumored to be made.
I thought there was one.
Really?
I thought there was one.
Did you think there was, like, how long did that facade, like...
I was young. I don't remember. Probably if, like... I misremembered it. I don't know how, like...
Yeah. I mean, an easy one would be rocket firing Boba Fett. Like, everyone... Like, how many times
But that did exist.
Not really, though.
But it did.
It existed in a prototype
stage. But people
stage.
were fully... But did they or did not one got out?
Not one got out unless it was a prototype. Because how many times did you talk to friends who said, I had it as a kid? Like... Did people, like, completely convince themselves that they owned it?
I have no idea.
Or are people just full of shit?
How do you not know that?
No,
I mean, it's like...
You cannot misremember having a rocket-firing Boba Fett. I think people either are just bullshitters or they just convince themselves that they had one. But I swear I met at least 50 to 100 people in my lifetime doing toy shows, doing whatever. That
Say
clay.
they heard that.
Another big one, but I think you can correct me, is the beta from the Alpha, the Legios beta toy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but that did exist.
In France?
Yeah, but it existed. Lancey made it.
But it was.
But no one fucking had it.
No one
in the States had it. You couldn't get it unless you were like in British Columbia or France. Like,
but how many people said
10.
that? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean 10 people probably had it. But yeah, a lot of people thought they had it or thought they saw it.
But it wasn't a full-size one, though, was it?
No, it was a little guy. It was like, dude, I don't know what scale it was, but...
I always thought it was the Gaiken one that the beta matched. But that was another one where I remember working at the comic book store and people would be like, oh, yeah, I had that. And then that's full of shit.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't.
And then, I'm trying... What else was there?
V was the big one for
V
me.
was a big one. I mean, they never made. I don't remember ever having anything from GI Joe that like. I don't really remember too much, but you remember the Rocky figure? Remember the mail away Rocky Balboa figure that was supposed to be made but never got made?
Nope.
You don't remember that?
Oh.
They originally planned a mail away Rocky Balboa figure, and at the last minute.
What did you have to buy to get it?
Like 5 proof of purchases.
Off of what?
The figures.
What figures?
G.I. Joe. It was part.
It was in the G.I. Joe line. It would have been a G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
Rocky
they even went as far as putting him. Like I think there's some promotional items out there that you can. I'll see if I can dig out and post on here. But there was actually some promotional stuff where like they got as far as like probably prototype stage. But I think at the last minute for whatever reason something didn't work out, and then the fridge came out. Remember the fridge?
Yeah.
Refrigerator Perry?
Yeah.
I had one of those. I loved the fridge. Man.
What else, man? Were there robots? Like, why do I feel like there must have been so many other things?
What about the SDF-1 base? Did that ever really come out?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah.
Are you 100% sure?
Yeah, yes. It was just very rare, but that came out.
I've seen pictures of an advertisement of it, but have you ever seen, like, hey, my name is Phil. Here is my Robotech base, SDF-1.
I've never seen one in person, but I know it exists.
Oh, you know what? I think one when I was on eBay for a couple grand. So
yeah, I saw it on YouTube. Someone had one on YouTube.
I think that they were clearanced out at KB towards the end, but they must have been super rare.
I'd take one.
Dude, I love that. I remember in the back of the comic books or whatever,
They would always show it.
I'm trying to think. So let's see, what else was there?
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, Mask. I'm trying to think of like toy lines where people would easily.
Transformer that you always thought existed but didn't.
That's a good one. Blue Streak. Blue Streak.
Blue,
Everyone would
Blue
talk
Streak?
about Blue Streak.
And they never made them?
Never, dude.
That's sweet. I
Did
never
they?
knew that.
Did they like you know in the back of the package they would show the blue streak, and I would remember again.
But they had pictures of it and never made it?
In the back of in the booklet. They show blue streak, blue and silver blue streak, and I do not believe that it ever officially came out. And you can correct me. And if it did come out, it came out in limited release in Japan as
but
a
never as a
dot.
Oh, I was going to ask.
It never. Yeah, it might have been. If it did, someone will correct me. But as far as I know, you'll never find it. Like it's just not going to happen.
We need to revisit this subject.
Why you feel like you need more thought on it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing. I mean, we could keep going, but I feel like I'm missing.
Anything from He-Man? Like that was like. I mean, there's
what pamphlets I looked through as a kid and wanted this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Micro collection shuttle Tidarium.
Micro collection.
Yeah, remember? It was in the booklet. Yeah,
that.
the micro collection.
And it
set.
never came out?
Yeah, they had a silhouette of it, and it's like, it never came out.
I vaguely remember
I remember,
that.
my brother had it. Somehow he mailed it.
Yeah.
No, never existed.
Oh, really?
I don't even think they made a prototype of it.
Oh, man.
I think that's the one that was killing me the most. Yeah.
There was a GoBots base, but I don't think I don't ever recall a story where someone was like, "Oh, I had that." Like I just remember like, do you remember Muppet Magazine? Is that going way deep? Muppet Magazine. It was just a magazine, but it was like Muppets. Anyways,
Never had that.
My brother had this issue of Muppets Magazine, and the back of the magazine was an advertisement for GoBots, and it like literally showed such an expansive world, and they were all displayed on this base, and I wanted the base more than anything. But I think for years before I became truly educated in toys or really researched it, like I always thought I just never saw it, but I don't think it ever came out.
They need to start getting back to bases.
Bases would be great,
like especially for something like GoBots. Transformers, spring-loaded elevators, and doors, and bays. And
I would love it, especially for like, what base would you want the most? Like,
it would never ever happen, but a high metal base for Minecraft.
Wow. You could build that.
You could, because you actually it would be sweet.
Like a hangar.
Pretty much.
That would be amazing.
Yep, or a Diaclone base would be sweet.
A Diaclone base
Masterpiece
would be the best.
Transformer, but that'd be huge.
That would be insane. What would you want for Masterpiece? Like an Arc? The Arc?
Yeah,
Really?
like Teletran 1.
I've seen some custom Arcs, and they look good. I like... man, I'm trying to think of like...
That's just a shitty hangout, though. When you go back to the cartoon, it's like, wow, you're in a big orange thing.
You're a big orange thing, right. I've seen some really good customs, and it looks cool, but like, I don't know that I would want to display my Transformers in a big ass orange thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
As far as definitely hangars are always cool. Was there any Star Wars ships that would like? I really wish that was made or made well. That wasn't. I mean, they pretty much covered Star Wars. I think I'm spitting everywhere.
What did they miss in Star Wars? From like, it's hard to remember.
It is hard to remember.
Back to the 80s and like.
They really got Star. That's the one.
They nailed a lot.
They really did nail Star. Maybe a couple play sets. Like, I wish that they would have made a
bomber.
They
never made a toy of that in the 80s,
but they came out with
nailed
one
that shit like hardcore.
After they nailed it really well. I always wanted a big Jabba's play set, like a big one. And as a kid, I had the Cantina playset, and I loved it. I loved that playset.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I loved it because it was good or I loved it because I had it. I think I loved it. Like it was
neat, though.
It was neat.
It was pretty neat.
It had like a door, but it wasn't attached to anything. It was just like a door.
A door, yeah.
I loved it. And I think once you own something as a child, that whole...
Because you remember playing with it and imagining about it. I always wanted the Death Star. My neighbor had it.
How would you
touch it?
Oh, like, the old Death Star?
Yeah,
I never
with
had
the cardboard walls and everything.
I never had that, and it had the trash compactor.
Yep.
I always wanted that.
They made two of them. They made the Palatoy one, which was actually like a sphere.
Oh, really?
And then they made the three-story.
The three-story one that was a really good playset.
Yeah, it was sweet.
I just bought the Death Star playset. And my brother had that as a kid, where it had the Darth Vader chamber where he goes in. Star Destroyer. Yeah. I love that thing. I bought it again, but it's awkward missing the top.
And evil. I love it. It's like the most awkward evil playset. Like where Darth Vader thinks about conquering the world and hangs his minions upside down and tortures them. I love it. Yeah.
It was weird. I wanna. It's missing the top part where you put the batteries in, and I'd like to get it because I just want to hear that sound again. The sound that it made and the lights.
Remember, as a kid, that thing was huge. It
felt so big. And now when you see it, it's like, and it's weird because it's like when they designed it, like what was their intention to make it shaped like the stars?
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
Close enough to a star.
It's a weird shape. Yeah. It really is weird. Man, yeah, playsets are a dying breed. I'm trying to think of any last minute things that we could think of. If there's anything you guys think of, put in the comments of toys that were like legendary for. You always talking to people saying that they were made, but you know deep down. I mean, not deep down. Like factually, were not made.
Or ones that you actually were fooled into thinking were made, and you went back and go, oh, they never made that. Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything. I was never fooled into like believing that RC was
I thought in the 90s there was a removable helmet Han. So
there was the Fruit Loops figure.
I bought 20 boxes of Fruit Loops for this guy. It was serious, dude.
Oh, you're saying, you don't remember the Fruit Loops mail away?
No, but I mean from the 80s. I thought in the 90s there was one from the 80s. Like from our childhood, I thought. And I remember, like...
But was it because...
I was just stupid?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough.
Either that or you just like... But the thing is in the 90s, you were... I don't know, were you a teenager? Yeah, we were like...
Yeah, a teenager.
I mean, that was just like the beginning of adult collecting.
Yeah.
So it was like... you weren't completely like there wasn't the same level of knowledge and access to resources as there is now.
I wonder if at that time a lot of people would have just assumed, well, there was a Luke,
right,
well, there was
right,
a Han.
Right. Well,
then,
I mean, now you can just push a button on Google
find out,
and you can find out. Whereas, like, back in the day, we had to go through Tomart's action figure digests, and you remember that? And Lee's action figure review, and like...
Mail order away catalogs.
Dude.
You had to wait for a paper catalog to show up in the mail to look at black and white pictures of maybe models that you might be able to get, might not be able to get. Wait 6 weeks for them to show up.
Dude, you want to hear my saddest mail away story? Back when we were kids and the Matchbox Robotech figures were out, there were some of them that were really, really, really hard to get, and I really wanted Scott Bernard.
Yeah.
So, in the back of a Comico, do you remember Comico?
Yeah.
A Comico comic of Robotech. There's this store, and they were called The Robot Store, and they had an ad that you could order any of the Robotech figures. So I convinced my mom. I begged her. I said, please send a check and let me get a Scott Bernard and a Roy Fokker and Max Sterling because they were really hard to get. And she did, or so she told me, and I don't know the facts. So we mailed away for this, and I swear to God, coincidentally, 6 weeks to show up. We were in the process of moving to a new house, and we went a little bit beyond the 6 week period or whatever, and we moved, and I would beg my mom to go back to the old house and ask if it ever showed up. Of course she didn't, but like now I want to know whether my mom...
It could be there now. Still.
No. The thing is I kind of think, sorry Mom, I kind of think my mom might have lied to me the whole time. Like, what if she never mailed that check? Because, like, you never know at that age. Like, I don't know why my mom would lie to me, but, like, I'm thinking of all the options. Like, it never showed up. Or some kids could have grown up with a Scott Bernard action figure. Like, I don't know. There's a mystery. Or maybe my mom never sent the check and was like, yeah.
What if it did show up and like some other mother took credit for ordering her kids Robotech?
Some random kids are like, the mom is just like, hey, here's some action figures.
Hey son, I was just thinking about you. I hope you like our new house.
Yeah. Just a welcome to the new house.
Yeah, welcome to the new neighborhood, son. Thanks, Mom.
I would love that because that means that like some other kid got to experience some rare Robotech figures.
Yeah.
But I remember that robot store. But anyways, yeah, mail-aways were torturous. Like, I mailed away for Cobra Commander, Hooded Cobra Commander, the Emperor. I never did the Anakin. Did you do Anakin Skywalker? No. What mail-aways did you do?
I wasn't into mail-aways.
You didn't do the mail-aways? Fridge?
No.
Super Trooper.
I didn't have the attention span. For mail away, I would just lose interest. If I couldn't have it on the spot, I didn't want it.
You really didn't cut out proof of purchases or flag points?
My brother did.
Okay, so
Cobra Commander.
Okay.
Major Blood.
Oh, okay.
Cobra, but as far as Star Wars, we didn't give a shit then.
I did.
It was done.
I did almost.
And I didn't give a shit about Anakin. Who gave a shit about Anakin?
I would have, but
fat old man in a robe, like. Sorry.
You're right. Like, I did the Fridge Super Trooper Emperor, which I remember the excruciating wait for that.
I think my brother might have done the Emperor.
That was
Pretty
awesome.
sure that was.
Big confession. I never mailed away for Sergeant Slaughter, nor did I really want to.
That was a great day. And the Cobra Commander was a great day. I mean, the Hooded Cobra Commander, it was so iconic.
Cobra Commander was a huge... But I remember the original Cobra Commander was a mail away at first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, G.I. Joe throughout the history of Real American Hero, they would have...
Those cards were sweet, too. The mail away stuff was awesome. Just the white slip and had like...
I did the G.I. Joe vehicle that was a surfboard with it was a parasail. Is that what it's called? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I can't remember what it was called. I'll look it up. But it was literally a parasail. But it was actually pretty well made. It was just kind of like when I got it, it was like there's no figure. It's just this little parasail. I just like the excitement of getting something in the mail. That was exciting. Yeah. Now with Amazon, I think I can get something in the mail every day. It's
funny that some of the most useless G.I. Joe toys were some of the best because they got the most screen time in the cartoon.
Like what?
Like, what was I forget the vehicle, but it was like...
Can you describe it? The Trouble Bubble?
Nope, not that. But that was sweet. No,
I
that
didn't
was
like-
very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I didn't like the
But
Trouble
what
Bubble.
it was like the good guy Trouble Bubble. Duke was always in it.
Oh,
Was
the Skyhawk.
Skyhawk.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was tiny. Just had the 2 engines. But like useless. But that thing
It
got
was
so much
so
screen
much.
time.
And it was such a unique vehicle. Like, it was like,
Yep.
it looked like it was part of the real world, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, there was, I don't
That's
even,
so what was good about
Yes.
G.I. Joe. It's like,
when it did
is that thing real or
Right.
not? And you always
This-
wonder.
Dude,
Like-
I think I nicknamed my little brother like Johnny Skyhawk just because I thought that was the coolest. I thought if your last name was Skyhawk, you would be the coolest dude in the world. Like if I was Randy Skyhawk, I would ultimately be a cool guy
Yeah.
just by name Randy Skyhawk. From now on, Randy Skyhawk, doing it. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Please share with us. On that note, it just like went. On that note, like, let us know what toys you always believe were made but never were. If there was something I was missing, what else? And whatever, you know. Please subscribe. Hit a like if you like. I don't know why you hit the like. I don't know what that does for us, but just do it. And until next time,
Nerd out.
You.